Hey, good morning. Day 53. It's Wednesday, March 18th or April 18th. Jeff just left resupply and a night stay at the Howard Johnson's in Daleville. It was fine. The bathtub was a little grody, but it was otherwise fine. Good price. Very crowded area here. Waiting for Starbucks. And today we're going to go to, I believe it's called the Bobbitt's Gap Shelter, mile 18.5. Should be a pretty reasonable day. It's supposed to get hot. It's supposed to be in the 70s today. So I got my shorts on, if you can see that. You can't, but they're there. And a jacket to start. It's 30s and 40s now, but it's supposed to get much warmer. Talk to you later. Hi guys. Daleville's been interesting insofar that it's a very built-up area, and most of the hiking so far today has been alongside highways and through neighborhoods. Very noisy, but just came out of a small woodland section and a very beautiful bucolic views. You can see the cow up on the hill, and I love these kind of views because not only is it beautiful on its own, but it draws your eye and your interest to knowing what is over that hill. And that's really a bit of a parable for being on the AT. There's always the interest in what is ahead. What's it going to be like? Is it going to be even more beautiful? Is it going to be hard, tiring? And that's what these hills do for me. It's just when I come across these grassy hills, like what's on the other side? And I'm sure it's going to be interesting. Maybe a view over the highway. And wow, it's one of the things you have to look out for. Yep, thank you, cow. That's pretty much everywhere up here. Yeah, so seeing some neighborhoods. And now it's getting windy. I'm a little underdressed right now, knowing that I'm going to get hot as the day progresses. It's supposed to be lovely, if not rather warm today in the 70s. No sign of it yet. It was 40s when I started. More cows. Now I'm at the top of the hill, and what do I see? A farm, some more cow poop, and little houses. Well, enough of that for now. I gotta keep hiking. Hi guys. These pretty plants are known as May apples, and they flower, and they tend to grow from a single root and form a colony. I didn't know this until I looked it up on this app called Picture This. But yeah, and they flower, and it looks like an attractive woodland plant. And it was used by early settlers and Native Americans as something that could cause you to throw up. So if you had an upset stomach or ate something you weren't supposed to, apparently you could eat it, and then you'd throw up a short time later. Just interesting. I like seeing all these different plants on the trail, especially the native ones. Talk to you later. Hi guys, day 53. There's a whole herd of deer over here. One sitting on the ground looking at me. There's one moving in the back, but there's several more back there. Let's see if I can zoom in. Yeah, there's the one staring. Cute. There's a few more back there, and I'm not sure what's up with the one sitting. Hopefully not injured, but looking very peacefully and intently at me. And it's almost 2 o'clock, Wednesday, March 18th, day 53. It's a good day. Not much going on here. Oh, there's another one moving in the background. And the trail has been pleasant. Not many rocks. There's been ups and downs, but not terrible. And I'm within like 4 miles of the shelter. Oh, there's that one. He's standing up, or she. I hope I didn't disturb her. Yeah, licking her chops there. So it's been a great day. Starbucks and Choo Choo are somewhere behind me. I've lost track of them. But pretty soon I'll be at the shelter and rest. 8.5 miles, pretty decent, relaxing day, beautiful weather. And I hope we have a lot more days like this. Take care. Hey guys, just moments ago, after I saw some deer, talked that there wasn't many views. But here I just come out of the woods, and there's a stupendous view here. How nice that is. Look how beautiful. Ooh-wee. Wow. Beautiful day, beautiful weather. Wind is blowing a bit. And this is part of some sort of parking lot. I have no idea where the trail is. I've got to try and go find that. It's disappeared on me. But won't be the first, but I'm sure I'll be able to find it. See you later. Today's hiking has had a number of spectacular views. Here's one. And you can see the trees are cut down here, and I'll show you why in a moment. Because what's been rather typical of today is hiking alongside highways. Can't hear any noise right now, but that's a highway up there. And it's not a busy one, but there's a regular stream of traffic up there. The AT's founder, Benton Mackay, would probably be rolling his grave to know that so much of the trail runs along busy roads and across busy roads. He was really in favor of a greater wilderness experience, but you know, some compromise is necessary in order to get this trail up and running, which is what happened. And happy to be here, though. This is quite nice, pleasant day. All is well. I don't think I correctly identified this road before. I just called it a highway. I believe it to be the Blue Ridge Parkway. And what a beautiful road it is. What a great place to go for a ride. There's a car going by. Up and down the hills they go. You can see some birds soaring in the distance. Very nice. And while it crisscrosses the whole wilderness space, it's still a good thing to allow other people, perhaps, who aren't into days and days of hiking up arduous hills, to be able to see nature and take in these wonderful views. So it's all a good thing, I think. Well, there, 18.5 miles, and I've arrived at Boblett's Gap, or Boblett's Gap Shelter. And I don't know, it looks fairly decent. Looks typical. We'll see. Hopefully no mice. I know they all have mice. But I hear water running outside, and that's a huge plus. 3:30 in the afternoon. I think I started around 7:30 this morning and did 18.5. So good day. Conditions were good. Sunny, at times a little hot, but on the whole, just right. Good morning. Good morning. Day 54. Just leaving Boblett's Gap Shelter and heading to Cornelius Creek Shelter. It's 18.4 miles. Yesterday I did 18.5, so difference today, there'll be a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of elevation changes beginning right now. So I climb up a big hill. There's a bunch of steps here. And yeah, the weather is right now, say mid-40s. Temperature's supposed to drop during the day into the low 40s. It's pretty windy. It's supposed to be windier. And then tonight's supposed to be on the cool side in the high 20s at the shelter. So it'll be a little cool, but still not death-defying. It's still decent hiking weather. And yeah, looking forward to another nice day. Yesterday was quite pleasant hiking near and along the Blue Ridge Parkway. And so long as it's not raining or snowing, I'm a happy camper, a happy hiker. Talk to you later. I just thought I should add, when I got to the shelter last night, Boblett's Creek, I was the first one there. And then a pretty good sized contingent, half a dozen folks from an Ohio hiking club came in. Real nice folks. They were a lot of fun, boisterous, and first I thought they might keep me up all night, but they laughed and joked. They were really friendly till about 9 o'clock. And then, like good campers, they all quieted down and went right to sleep. And some of them were in the shelter, It was shelter was full, a bunch of tenters on pretty terrible terrain. There's not good tenting at that shelter area. But just a shout out to these guys and gal. A really nice group of people. They're doing a section hiking southbound today, and I'm sure they're gonna have a great time. Good folks. Crisscrossing the Blue Ridge Parkway repeatedly, and here's just every time we do, you have a beautiful view into the valleys below. It's windy, 40s. It's a good day for hiking. And wow, is this pretty area. And this road is something. If you have a chance to come down here and go for a drive on it, I'd recommend it. It's fantastic. Good morning again. Just wanted to comment on something that's very common to hikers, through hikers in particular. I climbed a couple of hills. I was sweating bullets. It was in probably mid-40s, a little bit of sun. So then I took my shorts off, or my, you can't see them down here, but my leggings, and took a layer off and proceeded. Then the clouds came out, started raining, and now I got my hood on, some gloves on, still shorts, and came over the mountain. Now I'm directly in the wind, but mighty beautiful views behind me. You might be able to see them. I hope you can. A little bit of filled with fog and a squall line of rain, but yeah, this is the AT. This is what you have to go through, often several times a day, where you're sweating, you're burning hot, and then you're freezing, and then it changes again. So even though I'm freezing right now, I know if history repeats itself, probably within the next half hour I'll be sweating. So that's it. Talk to you later. Never ever get tired of these beautiful views. Just crazy how beautiful the AT is, and how lucky I am to be out here. And if you're thinking you might want to come out here, give it a go. Even if just for some section hiking. But this blue area in the Virginia near the Blue Ridge Parkway is quite attractive. Every day has beautiful sights, and I just feel blessed. Well, I couldn't resist filming this. This is one of my signature landscape views where your eye is drawn towards the future. Like yesterday, going up a grassy hill, not knowing what was on the other side. And here's a beautiful path with pine trees blocking some of the rather high winds and cold. And it looks like it just kind of goes off into oblivion. Hopefully I won't be a lemming and go right over the edge here, but I'm sure it must be a turn. But more pretty views today. It is quite cold out here today, and I still have my shorts on, but this is an ideal. I can just cover more ground with shorts rather than with longer pants. So, well, no surprise, it goes around a corner. It's not a cliff, although it's a rocky little mess here. And then down. Maybe I'll get out of the wind soon, which would be great. Talk to you later. Hey there. It's always fun to see just different views in the forest. And this was an interesting one. If you look at this, there is a part of a tree trunk that broke off, fell to the ground, and impaled itself. See the two, there's a skinny tree living in between, but there's the dead tree, which you can see that's dead, has two branches, came down hard and impaled itself in the ground. Pretty interesting. Haven't seen that before, but always just nice to pass time and see different things in the forest. Hi there, I'm at our road crossing, and you can see the river, and boy oh boy, would that be a beautiful swimming hole down there. It's kind of deep and fast moving, but then it becomes shallow, and you can even see a swing to throw yourself in the water to your left, and but not when the temperature is in the low 40s. So I'm going to pass on swimming today, if you don't mind. But I hope I have those opportunities on the AT to take a dunk in the water and get all the sweat and stink off me, which accumulates very quickly. See you later. Check this out at mile 760. I would almost guess it's a deer blind, but I've never seen such a fancy structure on top of that first floor, if you will. Looks like something that was manufactured elsewhere and dragged in here. It's quite fancy. It looks like it's all metal. There's someone in there, and I don't know what it is. It's pretty interesting. Hopefully, maybe I'll get a chance to get closer and take a look at it. About mile 760. Well, as it were, I wasn't able to get closer to that fancy structure. You may be able to see some red stripes or red marks on some of the trees. I think that's a person marking their private property. And boy, that top structure really looks like a guardhouse on a prison. Interesting. Probably uses it for deer hunting. I see someone staring down at me, and since they're probably a hunter, an armor is probably a good idea for me to get the hell out of here. Time to get going. Well, this is a deluxe shelter, the Bryant Ridge Shelter. I'm not staying here tonight. It's not off distance, but some real nice thinking went into building this structure. It's just a lot going on. And very nice wide porch. Place to sleep here. And then a set of stairs to go up to a higher level. Lots of hooks to hang your bags inside. Impressive. Very impressive. But I won't be staying here tonight, as attractive as this looks. See you later. Hey guys, look at the size of this beetle down here. Half as big as my foot. That's a big creepy crawly thing. Bird would have it's like a Happy Meal to a bird. Man, is that thing big? I don't know what it is. More legs than you can imagine. Woohoo! Stay out of my sleep system. See ya. Good morning, day 55. Just leaving the Cornelius Creek shelter. Another cold night. It was in about 27 degrees this morning when I woke up, but it was reasonably warm. It was used an old blanket someone left behind to try and create a windscreen, but it wasn't too bad. And it's sunny today. No clouds. It's supposed to be in the 50s, so it'll be a pleasant day for hiking. Going to do another 17 or 18 miles. And from there, the next day, we'll be able to make it into Buena Vista for resupply. So off to a good start. It's, what time it is? 7:45 right now, so hitting the trail at a decent time. Not surprisingly, Choo Choo and Starbucks are already ahead of me. Talk to you later. Hi, day 55, still in the morning. It's pretty interesting, and to see how lush and verdant these hills are, covered with small green plants. I don't know exactly what they are, and I don't have a cell signal to use my plant finder app. It looks a little bit like the head of leaves coming off of a carrot plant, but it's quite beautiful. How it covers the hillside really quite comprehensively. Nice. Very beautiful. More beautiful landscaping courtesy of nature. Didn't require a landscaper. Slaving in the yard. Just mossy rocks. They must have a fair amount of moisture and shade here, but it's really quite nice. It looks very lush, and all the better. I have a fairly smooth path here, but very nice. More beauty. Have to You know, the beauty isn't always in these gigantic scenic vistas, but just in the smaller plant formations and moss and little things you see on the trail. To me, that's just as interesting. Good morning again. Just popped out of the woods, Apple Orchard Mountain. Beautiful views. It's a cold morning, ground is still frozen. It was 27 when I left the shelter, and it's still freaking cold. But sun's up, so I'm sure as the day progresses, it will get a lot nicer. And this is an interesting contraption here. I'm guessing it's some sort of FAA device, maybe a Vortac or something like that to aid aviators. Got my pilot's license, so I've seen these sort of things before, but that one's a bit different. I could get closer, but then I'd have to hike an extra 100 feet, and I don't want to do that. I should, but I won't. Probably have great cell phone signal here now that I think of it. I see all those little dishes on there. Maybe I'll turn my phone on and call my wife. That'd be good. Talk to you later. Been coming down a very steep slope, very rocky area just beneath this tower, and I came to this spot here, which is pretty cool. I think it's called a guillotine, and there's been so many dead trees that I've often wondered about what the risk was walking underneath these trees that are giant trees that are hovering just over your head but haven't fully come down. But this would probably be a worse situation. But I bet it's been there for quite some time and will be there for quite some time in the future. But very cool. And speaking of cool, in these rocks, it's even colder here. But good, I made it. It's neato. Yep, stay there, rock. It's not often you see a tree where you have a hole right through the trunk, and yet it's still a living tree. I can see it. So maybe you can't on the camera, but I can see that it's starting to bud up. It's like an oak tree, getting close to leafing out, I guess. But probably not a healthy situation having a big hole right through the middle of the trunk, but very cool nevertheless. Hi, good morning, 10:30. Someone left some water for the hikers on the trail. Thank you. I don't need any right now, but I'm coming up to a beautiful overlook, which is well landscaped, with hard landscaped with stone and such. This is the Thunder Mountain Overlook, I believe it's called. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy! Look at that! I wish I had a wide-angle lens. It's like 270 degrees of beautiful views. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Now looking down at that beautiful town, some farms, looking across at a mountain that has some rock slides, looking back at the trail where I'm going to continue. So it's Friday morning, 10:30. Day 55. It's still cold out here. I think it's right around freezing. I've seen places where the ice is still solid, and other places where it's thawing. It's a little windy, but hey, it's almost the weekend, which of course doesn't matter to a hiker. But wow, it's just lifts your spirits to see these crazy beautiful views. And wow, lucky to be here for sure. See you later. There's a beautiful butterfly on the ground in front of me, like 5 feet in front of me. And its underside, it's black primarily, but it has orange, yellow, and blue markings on its underside. And on the top, it's blue. There it is. There you go. Where'd you go? Wow, look at that. Looky there, he's drinking the nectar from this woodland plant. How nice is that? I hope some of this shows up. There we go. I'm aiming at the wrong place. Yeah, there it is. How neat is that? beautiful. Beautiful to see all these different species, all these different lives making their way out here in the forest. I can't even see it myself. But here we go. That's enough. Day 55. Mid-afternoon. Heading down to that river. It's supposed to be the largest footbridge on the AT, over 1,000 feet. Pretty exciting to get down there, and we're going to go up like another mile up what looks like a steep hill and camp at a shelter there. So still have about 6 miles to go. Legs are achy, but it's a great hiking day. Beautiful vistas. I'll talk to you later. Hey there. I'm along the St. James River, and there's towering rocky cliffs here, and it's quite beautiful. And there's a very interesting waterfall coming down in the woods over here from over 100 feet high, I would say. It's quite something. The other thing that's very interesting is the trees are all much further leafed out here than they were just a half a mile or a mile down the road. So it would appear that the river perhaps adds some warmth that causes things to, to leaf out early. Very interesting. Talk to you when I get on the bridge. This is quite the bridge structure. It's hard to me imagine the cost of building this just for hikers, but I think looking at the footings of the bridge, it appears to be a bridge that originally supported trains, repurposed for hikers and other walkers in the area. But it's quite nice. It's long. They say it's nearly 1,000 feet long, and that's probably the new railway bridge. And here's the mountains on either side. It's quite a beautiful area. Gosh, it's just striking how in such a short period of time the deciduous trees are so far along and leafing out when they were so much further behind back in the hills and the woods from whence I came. I can only imagine this river perhaps warms the area a bit, and maybe influences when the plants or in the trees start leafing out. But very attractive. I still have a couple of miles to the shelter. It's one of those tearful walks the last 2 or 3 miles, because my feet are just absolutely a wreck. I don't know the exact mileage, but I believe it's over 20 today. We're just trying to get a little further along, so the next day's trip into Buena Vista would be a shorter one, and we could get into town, get resupplied, get relaxed earlier than we would otherwise. Talk to you later. Hi there. I'm about a mile from the Johns Hollow shelter, and here's a beautiful stream feeding the St. James River. Wow, looks like a great bunch of places, every place in fact I looked down on, if it was the warmer months, to take a dip, cool yourself off. Some of these pools look big enough to go for a small swim, like that one, and I'm sure people do that. It just looks very nice. And as I went across that bridge and across a major road, boy, it got really hot really fast. Forecast today was for 50s, but it seemed to be in the mid-70s, and lots of flies out too, so I'm gonna have to get my summer gear ready eventually. But now that I'm back in the woods with tree cover near a beautiful river, it's become much cooler and temperate, so it's really very nice here. It'll be even nicer another mile or so when I get to the Johns Hollow shelter. Can't wait. Good morning, day 56. Spent last night at Johns Hollow shelter. a nice little shelter there. Starbucks and I are the last ones out of the campsite. Choo Choo's already on the trail, as well as Glyph, and Crazy Horse left early before we even noticed. But this is a nice shelter. We did 21.6 yesterday. We're only going to do 10 today, and then we're going to either hitch or get a ride into the town of Buena Vista. We have some serious climbing to do for much of the morning. And it was a cold night. Seemed to be in the 30s. And I haven't checked my thermometer, but my shaking would indicate 30s. And day 56 starts today. Looks like a beautiful day. Clear skies, no wind. Very nice for hiking. Good morning. Day 56. I've been hiking for about an hour or so, and I know that trees, in particular at lower elevation, are all starting to leaf out, and my beautiful, crazy beautiful views are going to start disappearing. So I thought I'd catch this one. I'm on a beautiful trail, super steep, winding along a very rocky mountain. I'm just doing a 360 here, and it's about a 2,000 foot elevation gain in only about 2 miles. So, man, I started out freezing, very quickly started sweating. I stripped off some clothes, probably should strip off more, but I'm a little too lazy at the moment. But looks like a beautiful day. It's already warming up quickly, and man, I just can never get enough of these views. And I know another 2 weeks these trees will be full of leaves, as I saw at the lower elevations, and these views will disappear. But it's been glorious viewing. Of course, not the only viewing. I enjoy the plants just as much, but in any case, that's it for 9 a.m. on day 56. And what day is it today? It's Saturday, April 21st. Okay, another few feet up and an unobstructed view. Look at those mountains. And if you look down there, you can see rapids. And beyond that, you can see what looks like well, straight away, actually, you can see a bridge, and that's the footbridge that I crossed. I started on these mountains over here yesterday, came down all day, that footbridge, started coming up the mountains and camped, and now I'm at about 3,000 feet or so. But just glorious. That's the St. James River. You can see some sort of power plant or factory in the distance, belching some steam or smoke. But it looks like a beautiful morning. And yeah, the hike so far, sorry, I just tripped, has been fantastic this morning. Very rocky, but we're fresh. And only looking to do 10 miles before we try and get into Buena Vista. Called a couple of drivers, no one answered our call. I'm going to put my sad puppy face on when we get to the road and see if I'll just start asking people if they'll give us a ride, and we'll see how that goes. Oh well, talk to you later. Okay, this is getting repetitive. Just went a few feet further to the top of the mountain. And what do I come upon? A clearing, and I can see everything. What a stealth campsite. Wow, the glory of nature. You can see the deciduous trees leafing out below, mountains in all direction. This is glorious. Wow. Amazing. Just so beautiful. That makes it all worth it for being out here for 55 days and another 100 days to continue. But just being out here in the woods is a great thing. If you're interested in doing the AT, it's a hardship, but it's all worth it. Occasionally I come across moss that really forms a perfect hillside. It looks so lush. You just want to lay down in it, but you shouldn't because you'll destroy it. It's quite fragile, but it's so beautiful. Wouldn't mind creating a section of my lawn in this just for texture and color. It's fantastic. "11 a.m. day 56, ascending yet another steep hill, coming upon a cement piers. My guess is there was some sort of tower up here, communication or power line. Woo-wee! Oh my gosh, look at those views. I am sweaty and hot. Back in the woods. We get a ride at 12 noon, and it was Starbucks picked an aggressive time, so I'm hauling butt as fast as I can to try and get there by noontime. 10 mile-ish today, and then no zero. We just go in, resupply, have some nice meals, stay at a cheap hotel. Talk to you later.